Hello, welcome to a Paper Flourish craft video. My name is Julie. Today I'm going to give you my hints and tips on making an ink blended sunset background. My first tip is to always use Lavinia Multifarious cardstock. It is a beautiful, smooth, high quality cardstock and your ink blends beautifully onto it. So to get the best results, this is what I recommend. I've cut up some pieces. The piece I'm using is 3 7/8 inch by 5.5, and I find that fits really nicely with, say, a black mat around it onto a sort of a card which will fit into a standard size envelope. Now I've chosen three colours here. I've got Fossilized Amber, Ripe Persimmon, Barn Door. For your ink blending, to get that beautiful sunset image, I would recommend using the Holtz blending tools with the dome sponges on the end. They seem to give you a really good coverage of ink. Now, when I go with a sunset, usually go with a light, medium and dark. It does not have to be in the same colour range, so it doesn't have to be all oranges or yellows, or you can do a mixture of colours, but just as a rule, light, medium, dark always looks really good. Fossilized Amber. I'm just going to turn this side on. Another hint, grab yourself a tissue to hold on to the card, especially if you start to cover this in ink. You don't want to leave your fingerprints on it. So Fossilized Amber I'm going to do as the colour at the bottom of the card, and I'm just going to ink a really good coverage of ink onto the card. If you're worried about getting that first dark spot on the card, take a little bit off first on your piece of scrap paper. Blend away. The next colour, Ripe Persimmon. So this is the middle colour. And I'm just going to add that into the centre of the card. It's going to look a little bit messy at the moment where the colours overlap. And you do want to go a little bit into that bottom colour, into the Fossilized Amber. Okay, now to get this area where the colours have met looking a little bit better, I'm going back in with Fossilized Amber. And I'm going to blend until I'm happy. So I'm moving up into that middle section, up into the Ripe Persimmon, and I'm pretty happy with that. If I felt that it was still a little bit uneven, I can go back in. I can bring the Ripe Persimmon back in. So just blend the two colours together until you're happy. The third colour, Barn Door, and this is going at the top of the card. I'm just going to turn that around now. This is where the tissue comes in handy because now I'm having to hold it on the ink. So now that darker colour at the top of the card. Again, I'm going to bring it down into the middle section, just a little bit into that Ripe Persimmon. And then I'll sit back and have a look at it. I feel like I've lost a bit of the Ripe Persimmon. So bringing that back into the middle and working my way up into the Barn Door. But you're pretty much just blending until you are happy. I think that's pretty good. A little bit of Barn Door back in right at the top just to darken that even more. There we go. And I think that looks pretty good. So you've got that variation in colour, light to dark. Now that's blended really nicely. Before I stamp, I would make sure this is 100% dry. Sometimes the best thing you can do is leave it overnight, stamp it the next day, and your ink should be dry. You can stamp with the heat tool, but it needs to be completely dry or that ink will come up through the stamp. So I usually find the best way is just to leave it overnight. Now, for example, with my blending, every now and again you get that dark patch. You've come in with your blender and it's just left that dark mark. And then go, Drats, don't throw it away. What you can do to help blend that into the background is I've got a Lavinia Fan Brush with some water. Add your bleach spots. It looks really nice on your background anyway. So you can do it even if you're 100% happy with your background. But this is also a really good way that if you've got that little bit of an oops moment, this is a good way of covering it up a little bit. So pop that over the top paper towel. Usually leave it for about 30 seconds and then hit it with the paper towel, and the bleach spots are on the card. So it looks great on your sunset background anyway, but this will cover up those little oops moments as well. Now I'm going to take you through just a few different colour combinations that I've done for sunsets, and then I'm going to stamp this with some of the Lavinia silhouette stamps, which work perfectly on a sunset background. I've gone ahead and stamped the sunset background with the beautiful Lavinia stamps. I chose the lovely Bella, and I also chose one of the new stamps, Forest Flowers. And I've stamped all of them in the Nocturne Versifying Clear, the black ink. The black ink always looks fantastic on a sunset background. I did leave this card to dry. It's actually been drying for several days. As you can see, I think I might have changed nail colour in the meantime. But if you can, at least leave it overnight to dry, and that will stop that oxide ink coming through into your stamped image. If you do have to make it fairly quickly, make sure you give your background a really good dry with your heat tool. Please keep watching the video, because I'm now going to work on some blended backgrounds and some different combinations, and I'll show you those up next. I've been having fun creating lots of different sunset backgrounds. So this is the one which I've already done, and this one I did do the bleach spots on. I haven't done that on the other backgrounds, but I'm going to show you a selection of the backgrounds that I've been playing with. Okay, aged mahogany up the top, cracked pistachio, tattered rose at the bottom. Quite a really pretty combination, that one. This one's really striking. Unchartered mariner at the top, carved pumpkin in the middle, tea dye on the bottom. And I think anything with unchartered mariner in it always looks amazing. This is one of my absolute go-to backgrounds. I use this a lot. Chip Sapphire, Seedless preserves, and wild honey. I just love that colour combination. Villainous potion at the top, worn lipstick in the middle, Salvaged patina at the bottom. This would also look nice if you reverse the worn lipstick and the Salvaged patina. This one to me reminds me of like a seaside almost sunset. Blueprint sketch at the top, peacock feathers in the middle, mustard seed on the bottom. Prize ribbon at the top, abandoned coral in the middle, squeeze lemonade on the bottom. You can see I'm following a bit of a theme here, dark, medium, light. As long as you sort of stick to that, the background, the sunsets work. Definitely the prettiest. Dusty Concord at the top, saltwater taffy in the middle, Victorian velvet at the bottom. But a really pretty one. That's almost like one of those summery sunsets where you get all the pinks and purples happening. So here's my selection of sunset backgrounds. Play with your oxides, also your Lavinia Elements ink pads. They do this beautifully as well. And see what colour combinations you can come up with. Have a wonderful day. I'll be back soon with more videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.